December 16th, and this is the final regular meeting of the City Council for the City of Trinidad for 2025. Would you all please stand for the Mr. Thank you.
Last time.
Playing with you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 1 is roll call.
DeBono.
Here.
Shu. Thurman.
Here.
Trujillo.
Here.
Ogletree. Here. Williamson. Griego.
Here. Item number 2, approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any corrections or additions to the agenda? I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Ogletree moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Call the vote, please.
DeBono.
Yes.
Thurman.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Ogletree. Yes. Griego.
Yes. Item number 3, policy items and staff reports.
Sure, we have just a few staff reports, myself and the city attorney. First, I want to point you to a sign at your seat. This is our Welcome to Trinidad sign. We have one at each entrance to the city. These are repainted, so please take notice as you're leaving and coming back. We're excited to have this done by a local gentleman who also developed our 150-year logo, which will debut in January. Thanks. Second, I want to remind the city, just remind you of the closures during the holidays. So City Hall will be operating next week on the 22nd and 23rd, full operations throughout the city. On the 24th, which is Wednesday, the 25th, which is Thursday, and the 26th on Friday, we will be closed. That does not mean essential services will not run, so just a reminder, police and fire will be fully operational. The power plant, the water treatment plant, our animal shelter will be actively taking care of our animals, and the landfill will be open for the commercial haulers for a brief period on Friday morning, and then they will be open to the public on Saturday, normal hours on Saturday, the 27th. And then finally, I wanted to point to something we placed in your packets. I'm very honored to report to you that Chief Dave Bacharach has been appointed by the Colorado House of Representatives to sit on the Wildfire Resiliency Code Board. This is an amazing appointment to have the Colorado House of Representatives reach down into Trinidad and pick one of our most valuable employees to bring his expertise. I think it shows the impact that our fire department is having statewide, the reputation they've created in their training and in their outreach. And I also want to point out that Chief Bacharach will be a representative for all rural Colorado, all the rural communities in Colorado. So I just wanted to make sure council knew that that appointment had been made and it's effective as of last week.
I think we should pause for a round of applause.
Okay.
Thank you, Chief. That's it.
That's it. Mr. Downs has something.
Thank you. Mayor and council members, I just wanted to let you know we had a municipal court day yesterday, and traffic filings continue to be up, so that's good news. Also, there were about half a dozen homeless people who were cited in Muni Court for violation of the camping ordinance. I just wanted to let you know that. I will reserve commentary on that fact, but I just wanted to let you know that. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Downs. Item 4, petitions or communications, oral or written. You have 5 minutes if anybody's new here for petitions. It's 5 minutes. You'll be given a 1-minute warning. This is not for back and forth conversation with council. It's for you to air your concerns, and we'll take it up after. Melissa, how do you pronounce your last name?
Like a ring on your toe.
Toby.
Tory.
Okay.
I'd like to hold my comments for the hearing,
7B.
Okay.
Thank you.
Joe?
Yeah, likewise, I'm speaking on
Okay.
the lodging tax repeal.
All right. So there are no petitions and communications. I do have one that got to me this afternoon, and I will read it. It's lengthy, and I apologize. Dear members of Trinidad City Council, I'm writing to respectfully urge the council to maintain Trinidad's Lodging Tax Advisory Board as a formal advisory body. At a moment when our town is fighting to keep local businesses open, grappling with a severe affordable housing shortage, and striving to build a more resilient year-round economy, the role of the knowledgeable, community-rooted advisory committee has never been more essential. The lodging tax is one of Trinidad's few reliable sources of reinvestment capital. These dollars generated by visitors are intended to strengthen the local economy, support sustainable tourism, and protect the character of the community we all share. An advisory board provides the expertise, community perspective, and continuity necessary to ensure that these funds are used strategically, transparently, and in a way that truly serves Trinidad's long-term interests. Eliminating the advisory board would remove an important safeguard at a time when the town can least afford short-sighted spending. Trinidad's tourism landscape is complex. Occupancy rates fluctuate, marketing priorities shift with regional competition, and the pressures created by the short-term rentals directly intersect with our housing crisis. A dedicated lodging tax advisory board brings together residents, business owners, and subject matter experts who understand these dynamics firsthand. Its guidance helps the council direct funds where they will have the most impact, supporting local businesses and encouraging tourism. Importantly, this advisory body strengthens public trust. In a town where many feel stretched thin, both economically and emotionally, having a transparent, community-grounded process allocating tourism dollars demonstrates that decisions are made thoughtfully with input for those who are directly affected. It gives residents confidence that the lodging tax revenue is not only being used legally, but wisely. In addition, I'd like to point out that this move feels as though it was made hastily in the heels of this board finally getting up and running. As a decades-long marketing and communications professional who was the head of travel tourism for the Denver Post for a decade before moving here in 2021, and who still writes about the town and Colorado tourism, I was approved to join LTAF in June of this year and only attended the first meeting of the new itinerant of the board in August. In the subsequent 3 months, we've barely been able to get up to speed and certainly haven't not had enough time to figure out the best path forward and best practices to pursue to make an impact on how the funds are spent to promote and safeguard Trinidad as a tourist destination. A strong case was made by the mayor and city council members during my interview that the board is a critical component of propelling tourism forward here. I have yet to hear a persuasive argument that has changed in a meaningful way. Instead, it feels as though the city is simply eager to wrest control of the funding and abandon its function to represent the people who voted for the lodging tax increase last year. A clear demonstration that the residents value the contribution tourism brings. In the face of business closures, shrinking economic opportunity, and rapidly evolving housing landscape, Trinidad cannot afford to make decisions in an information vacuum. Maintaining the Lodging Tax Advisory Board ensures that council continues to benefit from balanced perspectives, data-driven recommendations, and a long view approach to economic development, one that protects both the vitality of our tourism sector and the well-being of the people who call this town home. Thank you for your consideration and for your ongoing service to the Trinidad community. I strongly encourage you to preserve the advisory board and the invaluable expertise it provides. With respect and appreciation, Kyle Wagner. Okay, item number 5 is council reports. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just assume we do.
Yeah, right.
Because this is the last time that this particular council is going to be in a regular meeting, and because it's the last time I'll be sitting in this chair as a regular meeting, I've been thinking a lot about what it means to leave this position, to leave this role in the community, and what we've learned. And I wanted to take a minute to talk about that and to share what may be wisdom, maybe not, but it is intended to go out to everyone to understand what this job is like, and also to the new council people about what you face, what you're gonna find, and perhaps will be surprising about it. But it's a long meeting, and so I'll try to make it short. So, first of all, of course, it's a privilege and an honor to sit here. It's a privilege and an honor to make decisions that affect more than 850 or 8,500 people, their lives and the lives of the people who pass through here. That is a huge privilege. It's a huge responsibility too. And in the process of doing this, you are going to be not alone. You are going to be with 6 other people whose points of view about every issue that comes before you is going to be necessary to be heard and to be considered, because good decisions are made with the most information. I'm very clear about that. The best information, the most information. And what we learned, I would offer, is that everyone's voice here is important. And we come at issues from different perspectives. You know, I've always felt like the one who's kind of the new girl in town. Even though I've lived here 11 years, but that is new in Trinidad. That is a different point of view sometimes, but I have been so honored that you all have listened and that we have all listened to each other, and we have grown so much in knowing each other and trusting each other and finding out what's important to each one of us. And it is an incredible thing, and it's sad in a way to end this, because we're finally working. You know? We're doing it, and it's time to go. But it is also time to turn over the reins to new people, new ideas, new energy, and I'm very excited about that. You are going to have the same experience. You all may know each other a little bit. I knew the mayor, my council, and that is it. And now I consider everyone up here just dear friends. I have an enormous respect for them. But I would say the most important thing that I have learned is that being a city council person is not about you. It's not about you. It is about the city of Trinidad, and it's about setting aside sometimes the things that are important to you so that you can work for what's best for everyone. And it's not about settling scores. It's not about personal agendas. You will find that out quickly. That's not going to be carried by the other people who are up here. Your job together is to work for the best of this community. And I know that you will, and I know that all of us will be rooting for you and willing to help. And we are leaving you in incredibly capable and experienced hands, and our city manager, our city attorney, our entire city staff, who you will find are amazing. You will be blown away by how hard they work and how much they care. So we leave it to you, we entrust it to you, and we know that you will do great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Eli?
That's a pretty hard act to follow, but I just want to thank everybody. I try to serve the people, the general public, and everyone that I know. I never not got back to somebody if they asked me a question. If I didn't know the question, I referred them to a department head, and I made sure that everything was based on tangible reasoning, and I try to make the best rationally based decisions based on if I was, and I sat where you're at right now for the longest time, and I said, does this benefit me or does it benefit everybody? I never came in with an agenda. I'm not leaving with an agenda. I will often sit again in 2026 where you're at and continue the leadership and the camaraderie and all of the things that we've accomplished as a council here. And I know I'm only 1/7 of the vote, but I appreciate everything. I love talking to people. I've always called everyone back in the last 2 terms. And I appreciate everyone that got back to me and gave me their decision. And maybe they didn't actually have something that they wanted, but I made it known that this is the best for everyone involved, not just for me or for you or for the person across the street. So, and I want to thank everybody here. It's been an honor, great experience, sometimes bittersweet, but I'd say 80% positive, 20% you're always going to have some negative, always. So, and all the people I got to interview in the last 2 terms at the radio station, I've come to know. I've known about their business, and everything that happens for a reason. So I know my dad was a city councilman for a couple terms, and he asked me, he said, Eli, he said, you ought to do this, throw your hat in the ring. I said, well, I don't know. My hat may not be big enough. But he said, just, you grew up with morals. He said, you'll do fine, and you'll serve the people the way that they deserve to be. Everybody deserves to be heard. It's unfair when someone is shut out and not being able to voice their opinion or be able to, just exemplify and accentuate what they actually really want to say. So with that, thank you. God bless everyone. And I guess we're at the end of 2025, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay. And it was an honor to serve with the Los Angeles County Veterans as a liaison. We have the greatest country in the world. Some of the veterans I got to know, I talked to them. Honorable Judge John Moschel and just so many great people. And some of the kids that were in my math class that lost their leg, like Matt Dominguez, at the courthouse there. It's just, amazing. I love all these kids that I taught for 37 years. And I see some of them. Bob Just was in my biology class when I first started teaching. And he has, there's great grandkids running around. I must be pretty old, I guess.
I think you are.
Okay, with that, thank you. God bless you.
Manny, do you have anything to report? You're staying,
Yeah.
just FYI.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm staying. I had the privilege of attending Colorado Counties Inc. in Westminster earlier this month. Unfortunately, I had to leave early due to the weather. I took a few classes. I'm happy to share that with anybody that wants to know what we could update on. I also attended the our CML policy committee. We discussed housing, land use, criminal justice, community court, open records, water legislation, and then there was an update to the CML policy statement. I did vote in those, so if anybody needs to know where we voted and where they stood as a committee for that moving forward on their stance, moving forward to the legislation. Also, the senior center, my favorite place. So the senior center has asked me, there has been people that had placed orders for pecans, walnuts, mixed nuts, and pralines. They vanished. So we do have an excess. If anybody needs anything for their holiday baking, please go down to the senior center. They will be open from 9 to 2. They're $11 a bag. If you need anything, it's a great fundraiser and plus really good quality on that. And it's hard because I did want to say something else, that it has been an honor and a privilege to serve with you. Coming on here extremely green and not not having a clue of how government worked at all. These 6 people have been amazing to lean on. They have mentored me, they have showed me the ropes. City staff, all the way up and down the ranks, have been amazing and welcoming. I look forward to working with the new council. I will miss these guys. They are my compadres. And each one of us, I believe, brings something to the table. I've learned so much from Aaron. Eli, you've been an amazing mentor. Thank you so much for just being the most awesome guy there is. Frank, with his historical knowledge, I get to hang out with for another 2 years. Naaman, thank you. You always bring light to every discussion. I appreciate you so much for being here and everything that we've discussed on the side. Thank you for just being an awesome person, and I will miss you very much. Madam Mayor.
Don't start.
Thank you for being just the most welcoming person I've ever run into. You have mentored me, you have supported me, you have given me guidance when I didn't think that I had it. And I will miss you, and you have done a wonderful job, and I thank you for letting me. I know that everybody else, they voted me in, but being part of this amazing council that has accomplished so much in the last 2 years. Thank you for being who you are and continue to be who you are. Thank you all. That's my report, guys.
Okay. So last but not least,
Me, what about me?
Oh. Well, you're so, okay, say what you're gonna say.
Alright, I was about to say something meaningful about you, but no, I'm just teasing. So I've been in Trinidad 8 years, y'all. And it's been a blast the whole way through. Nothing negative to say about Trinidad. When I'm not here, I'm like, I need to get back to Trinidad. Like if I go to a big city, LA or Atlanta or Detroit or any of those places, I'm like, all right, this was fun. Let me hurry up and get back to Trinidad, you know what I mean? And I can look up in the audience and realize I've seen everybody here, shook everybody's hand at least once. I know everybody knows me kinda, and I'm excited that you guys allowed me to even participate in being a city council member. This has been a blast the whole way through. Aaron, blast. Eli, super cool. Super cool guy. You guys are lucky to have him here. You guys are lucky to have Karen here. My guy right here, super lucky to have him here. This town is amazing. I've been to a lot of small towns in America, and this one stands out to be one of the best ones. I know we kind of get a little infighting from now and then every blue moon, but that's not even enough to talk about. It's not even a blip on the screen of what's going on here in this town. Fire department's cool. Police department's cool. Everybody's been super nice to me. None of that weird, he's the only somebody in town. None of that weirdness that you might see on. Don't believe the hype, y'all. Don't believe what you see on TV. That's not real either. Come to this town and enjoy yourself. Be part of the city. I encourage everybody to come to city council meetings if you're not trying to be involved in city politics. Please come to this one. Small town politics is, you might hear it being bad or weird, but this is not that. This is not the case. You can make your dreams come true in a town like this, because everybody's wanting to help you out to do whatever you need to do. So I want to put that out there. I thank y'all for letting me participate in being a city council member.
Thank you, Naaman.
This is going to carry me throughout the rest of my life, believe it or not, having this experience. So
Yes.
that's all I'm going to say about that. Nothing to report
Can I
here.
thank you, Madam Mayor?
Yes.
I was sitting next to Karen for a few years, and I was a little bit nervous. Sometimes I would call her or ask her, am I doing okay, Karen? Am I doing okay? And she said, yeah, you're doing okay. Just,
Do your thing.
do your thing, and thank you so much. You've been a godsend, and appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you. I appreciate all of you. I found a quote today that kind of sums up what this council has done. The measure of leadership is not the power we hold, but the service we render to the people we represent. And I think that's indicative of this council for sure. I'm ending my 8 years on council, 2 years as mayor, and I want you all to understand what this council went through. You probably don't realize we went through 5 changes of city managers in the 8 years I've been here. We've navigated a pandemic when we didn't know what was going to happen to the world, not let alone what was going to happen to Trinidad. But this council made decisions that we not only strived, we survived, and we thrived that pandemic. I would like to acknowledge and thank the people I worked for and with over the past 8 years. You know, everybody says staff, and you know, it grieves me when I get on social media and get blasts on staff because of how incompetent or whatever they are. That is totally, totally not true. I couldn't be here doing what I do, or none of these other people could do what they do without staff. They are the constant in this government. They are professional, they are caring, good people. And I consider not only colleagues, but I consider you all my friends. I would have never known some of these people here if it wasn't been for city council. And I just want to emphasize that. Please appreciate the staff we have. I mean, they put some work out that's superior to people that work in big metro areas. Just because we're small doesn't mean that we're lacking anything. And I think it's because they have a passion for this community, as I do and people on this dais do. I think it's our home, and we want to nurture it and make it grow and make it prosper. Thank you guys, fellow council people. I've enjoyed not only working with you, but understanding your personality. We laugh. I get all kinds of AC/DC memorabilia because he knows I'm an AC/DC addict. But thank you. It's been it's been an honor to serve with each and every one of you, each and every one of you. It's been an honor. I also want to thank the citizens of this community for bestowing this honor on me for 2 years as a city councilman and 1 year as mayor. I really appreciate the confidence that you have shown in me. I wish I could say I didn't make mistakes, but I did. I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. But I learned and I corrected, and I think we did very well. Last but not least, for sure, I'd like to thank my husband, Ed. He's taken up the slack at the office, at home, the dog, the laundry, everything, because I've been down here spending time at city council. Thank you, Ed. I could have never done it without you. Kathleen, Fletch, and Joanne, thank you as well. You know, when I was down, you'd say, come on, Ace, you're better than that. Come on, Ace, you can do it. And doesn't mean anything if it's not for family. And I consider city staff now my family as well. So thank you all very much from the bottom of my heart.
City council.
Okay, item 6, consent agenda approval. Item 6A, approval of the regular meeting minutes of December 2nd, 2025, and special meeting minutes of December 8th, 2025. Item 6B, appointment of Eric Shepherd to the Arts and Cultural Advisory Commission. 6C, approval of bills totaling $2.2 million. Approval of payroll from December 6th, 2025 through December 19th, 2025, and December 20th, 2025 through January 2nd of 2026. I need a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Trujillo moved. Is there a second?
Second.
DeBono seconded. Call the vote, please.
DeBono?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Trahell?
Yes.
Ogletree?
Yes.
Griego?
Yes. Item 7A, public hearing for consideration of an ordinance appropriating certain sums of money out of the revenues of the city of Trinidad, Colorado to defray and meet the liabilities of the city of Trinidad for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2026 and ending December 31st, 2026. Said ordinance being termed the annual appropriation bill for the 2025 fiscal year. The hearing is open. Any comments?
Just an update, council. We had our first reading on November 18th. As I reported at that time, we would have the final enrollment numbers for insurance. And so this updated amount includes those final numbers. The total expenditure for all 9 funds is $79,636,075. That includes all funds, inclusive of the general fund, the power and light fund, the water fund, the gas fund, the sewer fund, the economic development fund, the capital projects fund, the lottery fund, and the tourism fund. Thank you.
Anybody from council? People.
We have so thoroughly discussed this, and you have done such a great job explaining everything that I don't have any questions.
Masterful job, Chair.
Thank you. I want to recognize Ms. Sarah Cart, our finance manager. It's her first budget as well, and this wouldn't be possible without our entire finance department led by Sarah, so thank you.
Thank you, great job, no questions.
Thank you, and thanks, Eric. I appreciate you folks for putting that together. Good job.
I should have mentioned also that we changed in the accounting department quite a bit too.
We did.
Yes. Thank you, Tara. I learned a new term this time around, budget neutral. It's got to be budget neutral. You did a great job. You cut the fat where it needed to be cut and kept the essential services as it was. So I appreciate it. And please pass on our congratulations and thank you to the department as well. Anybody in the audience to speak for or against? There being none? That was me. The hearing is closed. A71, second reading of an ordinance appropriating certain sums of money out of the revenues of the city of Trinidad to defray and meet the liabilities of the city of Trinidad for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2026 and ending December 31st, 2026. Said ordinance being termed the annual appropriation bill for the 2026 fiscal year. I need a motion.
So moved.
Ms. Ogletree moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Trujillo seconded. Call the vote.
DeBono?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Trahell?
Yes.
Ogletree?
Yes.
Griego?
Yes. Item 7B, public hearing for consideration of an ordinance repealing and replacing Section 647, City Lodging Tax Fund, and repealing Section 747, Lodging Tax Advisory Board in its entirety of Chapter 7, Finance and Taxation, Article 7, Lodging Tax of the Trinidad Municipal Code. The hearing is now
Thank you, Mayor. The summary on this is that from a work session that we had in August, City Council gave staff direction on developing a new ordinance that would address several issues that we felt like we were dealing with in the collection and expenditure of the lodging tax. We have created an ordinance that does 4 major things. One, it moves to a pay-as-you-go system, which is going to require 2 years of fairly slim budget margins. Second, we took away the percentages that were in the current ordinance and instead allowed for more flexibility. Third, we're reducing the amount of operational expense that is allowed to be expended from this fund to 25% or less of the stated budget. And last, at council's request, this updated ordinance would remove the lodging tax advisory board.
I will start with you, Neiman, this time. Input?
No, nothing to report. That sounds fair. I think we should continue on with that tax bill, just because of the, nobody's traveling now, but it would be nice to have that in the coffers. And so we can really pull the trip on a real tourist experience.
Mr. Trudeau?
I think we spoke of this at length and trying to get through, and I thank you for encompassing everything that, we have asked for to put into this ordinance. I really have no questions. Nothing at all at this time. Thank you.
I just wanted to say something about the LTAP board. I don't think we can find 3 more knowledgeable people more than Eric Shepard, Chris Miller, and Joe. They've spent a lot of time and effort and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, Chris Miller, 40 years in marketing and radio. Eric Shepard, multiple years in the arts. Joe, digital knowledge as well. And I think that speaks for a lot. That's a lot of volume right there. And to dissolve that right away, I don't know if you're going to find 3 better people than the 3 people that are sitting in the chairs in front of us. So that's all I wanted to say.
Right. Erin?
So, I just have a question for Mr. DeBon. So are you saying then that you don't want the lodging tax advisory board to be removed?
No, I don't.
You don't want it to, okay, let's try to understand that, okay. One of the things we talked about in work session was that you were considering having a kind of informal advisory board. Is
Yes.
there any aspect of that you think you're going to follow through on?
Absolutely. It's just not relevant to the ordinance this evening, but I had offered on December 2nd to continue to work with those that Councilmember DeBono just referenced. And we are going to need advisory capacity in the city manager's office should you decide to adopt this ordinance.
I think that's really critical because I want to hear from what people want to say, but I think people want accountability. They want to have a say in how the city's marketed. I still stand by, I want it to be done by people who are getting paid to do it because it's a real job that people actually get paid for to market and promote cities. And we need that, but we also need the knowledge base that marketing group could work with.
Sure.
So I like the idea. I wish there was some nod to it in this ordinance that acknowledged that the city manager is going to convene some kind of informal advisory group. And we already have gotten past the point, though, where we used to be. I think it's important to point out what this used to be was a tourism board that directly controlled how the money was spent. And that went away with the change in the lodging tax. So now it's purely advisory, and that I think has been part of the problem is that it's been an awkward dance where, if we say we want the city to spend this money and the city doesn't do that, why are we telling the city to do this? So that needs to be mucked through a bit, I think.
It certainly has, whether the advisory board exists to advise council or whether advisors exist to advise the city manager. Ultimately, in 2023, the council took away the power of the board to take action.
Right.
I believe that's the awkwardness of which you speak.
Yes, it is.
Okay, done. I have a little bit of knowledge of the tourism board because I was on the board when it originally was formed in 2001. And, you know, the city is a living being. It evolves, it changes, and from the primitive years that I was on, we just spent money, we didn't ask, we just spent money. Well, we figured out after, you can't do that. Nobody can spend the city's money but the city council, period. And so we had to rectify that, right? And I know that people are upset about it, but as I said, with my experiences on council, that tourism board has changed hands so many times. We have never gotten a report from the tourism board. That being said, I think you're still a valuable part of the tourism picture in Trinidad. I remember I was on a Zoom call for that meeting when we first talked about the tourism board, and I do believe that the caveat that I had was that you have to keep citizens involved in that process. Ms. Marshall has assured me that that will happen, and so your roles might change, but the importance to the tourism industry in Trinidad has not, and we value that, and we appreciate that, and we recognize that. So that being said, we're not throwing you out. You're changing to try and conform with the needs of a tourism industry that has changed since 2001. So I hope you will understand. Anybody to speak for and against? Now's your chance. Tomer, come on in.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Melissa Torring. Torring, like a ring on your toe. I'm speaking regarding the lodging tax, the ordinance, the LTAB board, and community competence. My name is Melissa Torring. I campaigned for the additional 3% lodging tax increase. I wrote an op-ed. You may have read it. I was interviewed by the Chronicle News in my role as a campaigner for this ordinance, for this increase, which was based on this ordinance. I was advocated in many ways for our community and for our quality of life, and not just in outdoor recreation, but especially in support of our natural assets. I feel like our organizations and our community maybe is a little too accustomed to all the wonderful things we have, and we forget how amazing they are, especially to those who come here to visit, to work, and to play. This evening, I ask the council and our civil servants and our community members to think and speak and act with integrity to maintain and improve our community faith and confidence. We have a responsibility to our community. I have a responsibility to our community. I said that I was going to stand by and advocate and monitor that these funds were spent according to the ordinance that we based our campaign on. I'm asking you tonight to be brave in acknowledging mistakes and direction changes. I'm asking you tonight to be honest about changing matters that have already been voted on and approved. I ask that the people's trust that the additional 3% increase would be well managed using the established ordinance be respected. Do not remove the ordinance, the board, and the budget without clear and direct communication. Do clearly and transparently communicate the path forward, even if it is not yet fully known. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. You're welcome.
Joe, would you like to speak as well?
Yes, please. Mayor Griego, esteemed council members and city staff members. My name is Joe Kozlowitz. I think you all know me by now. I'm addressing you today as the current acting chair of the Lodging Tax Advisory Board. It is our collective opinion that fully repealing this citizen board would be a mistake. While we recognize merit in changing the ordinance to allow greater flexibility in spending, we believe the budget constraints faced by the city only make the board's function more vital. I'll first reiterate that the current board has only been active since August. I believe you heard that in Kyle's letter. The previous board, of which I was also a member, disbanded in February. That board had been largely rendered ineffective due to personality conflicts and decisions made by previous staff who are no longer employed by the city of Trinidad. I'm not here to place blame or to dig into the dysfunction of that iteration of the board. I would be glad to answer any questions if you have them about what happened during that period. I only wish to call attention to the fact that our sitting board is in my opinion, a stronger and more cohesive group at this time. Indeed, many of the budgetary decisions leading to today were driven or informed by city staff. For instance, the board does not create the forecast for the lodging fund. Our expected revenues are informed by staff liaisons. Our budget similarly is initially set by the city, and then we make recommendations within those line items. Many of which, I would add, have been overridden. Staff salaries, which were recently dropped from the fund, were inserted by city staff originally, a change that was in fact protested by the board and led more or less directly to the removal of a city member. Again, I'm not here to point fingers. City staff is typically operating under the best available information when it comes to budgetary matters. Strategy and execution may be another issue that we don't need to delve into at this time. Despite the issues faced under the previous board, a number of successes did occur in collaboration with city staff and our marketing firm. We launched a new Visit Trinidad website that was funded by a matching grant from the Colorado Tourism Office. We saw significant growth in website visitation and social media engagement with a much more consistent social media calendar. We hired said full-service marketing and advertising firm after a competitive bid process. We promoted greater opportunities for local businesses and institutions to gain exposure through city channels via shared calendar and social media co-op program. We doled out thousands of dollars in grants to support local events and our cultural institutions, establishing a scoring rubric to adopt as impartial of a process as possible. And we pursued a multi-channel advertising effort in addition to the digital, with a strategic print and radio ads in target markets like Albuquerque, Amarillo, and Denver. While it is disappointing that these efforts didn't directly translate to increased lodging revenues this year, I would argue that there are numerous extenuating circumstances that are negatively affecting visitation. These successes are a strong base to build on, and regardless of the performance of this current board, the existence of a Lodging Tax Advisory Board also led to previous growth in the funds in years prior, demonstrating the overall value of the institution. I have heard feedback that the board has not met with council frequently now. The previous iteration did present to council on at least 3 occasions, twice with updates and data, once to suggest outdoor recreation priorities. While it is true we haven't been in front of you since the new board was seated, I'm also disappointed that we weren't called to provide any context on this vote prior to today's public hearing. I would like to remind council that you have heard the qualifications of each member of this board prior to approving our appointments. Thank you, Eli, for reminding us of that. Each of us has relevant experience in marketing, tourism-related industries, journalism, business, and/or outdoor recreation. To eliminate that expert advisory capacity and rely entirely on city staff who have numerous other duties and may indeed lack relevant experience, seems imprudent, and all the more so when we need to identify and prioritize the most vital and effective promotional efforts under a seriously constrained budget in 2026 and likely 2027. We have also heard concerns over objectivity. To ease those concerns, know that for any items of business that directly impact an individual board member, they are expected and have always recused themselves from discussion, much the same way that I imagine council operates. In a town like Trinidad, avoiding conflicts of interest entirely is impossible. Nobody on this board has benefited directly from our efforts. with the slight exception of grant awards, which follow that recusal and scoring process, which I've already described. In our eyes, the most vital function of the board is a layer of public input and oversight which would otherwise not exist. While city expenditures may be public and our democratically elected council ultimately calls the shots, please remember that last year's lodging tax increase was promoted under an explicit promise of transparency and accountability. That valid language for the tax increase also included direct references to recreational amenities. While we understand a revised ordinance would not explicitly forbid spending lodging funds on this type of project, changing the ordinance at this juncture feels very much like a bait and switch to the public. Our city manager has expressed her desire to retain some type of expert board to help prioritize and recommend lodging fund expenditures. However, constantly reinventing this wheel only stopped us from making further forward progress. Regardless of your decision on repealing and replacing the lodging tax ordinance itself, I urge you to keep some permutation of an oversight board in place. We are only here to serve the city's best interests, and barring the hiring of a seasoned and dedicated marketing professional, I would argue that we are better equipped to do so than relying on city staff alone. I also believe that our work under this current board will pay future dividends. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to speak for or against? The hearing is closed. Item 7B1, second reading of an ordinance repealing and replacing Section 7-46 City Lodging Tax Fund and repealing Section 7-47 Lodging Tax Advisory Board in its entirety of Chapter 7 Finance and Taxation, Article 7 Lodging Tax of the Trinidad Municipal Code. I need a motion.
So moved.
Eli moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any second? Call the vote, please.
DeBono,
No.
Trill,
Yes.
Ogletree,
No.
Thurman,
No.
Griego.
Yes.
Fence.
So what's the vote?
3, I'm sorry, go ahead.
3 no, 2 yes.
3 no and 2. The ordinance is defeated. Item 9, miscellaneous business. Item 9A, I apologize, there's no unfinished business. Item 9A, interview and consideration of the appointment of Renee Monahan to the Library Advisory Board. Ms. Monahan, you're here. Can you please come forward?
Good evening.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. We've missed you a couple of times and I think we failed to understand that when you work. That's okay. You don't need that job, do you?
Actually, I do.
Give us an idea of why you want to be on this board.
So we have, back a little bit. So I am the program director of Cobble Learning Center. We are privileged to have 120 children enrolled in our program. I've been with the agency for over 20 years at the Early Learning Center. Started off as a teacher assistant, and now I am blessed to be the program director. I see a need with early literacy. The library is a perfect avenue for that. Miss Phyllis would come to our school once a month and read to the kids. It was phenomenal. They were light up. There was lots of programs that we were able to be part of. I feel that this would be a fantastic collaboration to continue that. Miss Phyllis retired in May. I have a lot of expertise with literacy. I think the library, a lot of people don't know that libraries even exist because of social media. Their kids are on their tablets. I would like to be able to be part of the advisory board to hopefully bring some of the kids back to the library and be able to be that that collaboration to also have ideas and be able to bring back to my school
what a library is and what a library can offer.
Thank you. Ms. Ogletree, do you have any questions?
Wow. Okay. Have you been to the library board meetings at all?
No.
Okay. Do you have any questions about how it functions or how
No.
you would fit into that?
No, honestly, I don't. I've been privileged to been on enough boards. I think I have an idea, but specifically for the library, no.
Mr. DeGono?
Thank you, and I believe you'll be an integral asset to the library board, and thank you for your interest, appreciate it.
I appreciate your interest, Renee. Thank you so much. I know your history, so you're pretty busy. You're pretty busy. That would be my only question that I would have for you. Would you be able to fit these meetings in with your schedule?
Yeah, once I know when the meetings are, I can adjust my schedule accordingly. And I have a great staff. I have a great assistant director. My executive director is supporting me with COG. So yes, I would definitely make sure that everything would work.
I believe you'd be an excellent addition to that, intermingling those with the youth. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Neiman?
Thank you for wanting to be a part of the local library scene. Excited about you having social media integrated into the library function. So that ought to keep it relevant and keep it afloat to the kids that are on social media all the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're gonna add to that board what's been lacking, the youth segment of our community, and I
Thank you. I hope so.
think you will, and that's gonna be great, so if we get them started at an early age, it's better for them as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad we finally got together.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I need a motion to appoint Ms. Monahan.
So moved.
Karen moved, Levi seconded.
Second.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry, going towards yeah. Call vote, please.
DeBono,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Trudeau,
Yes.
Ogletree,
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Item 9B, consideration of approval of the City of Trinidad to purchase, accept real property owned by SCC TCC-WS LLC. The property is unplanted land known as parcel 1282400, found in portion of Section 6, Township 33 South, Range 63 West of the 6th Prime Meridian, County of Los Animas, State of Colorado, also known as Track E. I see Mr. Mason's going to come and give us details.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. So this is a piece of property, it's located behind the Trinidad Plaza, next to or adjacent to the, city's storm sewer facility, or, excuse me, sanitary sewer facility, the water treatment, the water treatment plant there, sewer treatment plant. So the company that owns it is a subsidiary of the original company that owned the Trinidad Plaza and the subdivision. They kept onto this piece. It's on the backside of all the commercial buildings there. It doesn't have a ton of value. It's not very developable, but it is 4.5 acres. I'd say roughly 2.5 could be benefit to the city or our facility uses like this, sanitary sewer plant and then the brickyard as well. So its location is pretty good for us. It's also kind of an accept. The price is $10, so that's a definite bonus. The company is dissolving, and they call which is very common to call municipalities if they want any property that doesn't have much use. So that's kind of the case here. The city doesn't have any immediate plan for it, but it could definitely hold a good potential for us to develop something. That's all I want.
Questions?
And you don't have any environmental issues that you're concerned about with it?
Not at the moment. Well, if we do develop, we'll probably look at using our EPA ground grants monies to do a phase 1 and see what hurdles are there. But as of now, we haven't.
Okay.
Yes, there's no indication really,
Right.
other than the proximity to the rail line, which sometimes you get some stuff, but historically, no one's known it to be an environmental hazardous site. So.
Do I have
No questions, thank you, Nick.
No, I went for a walk back there and make a great nature hike, so it could be a path feature or
Perhaps.
something, or
Definitely.
parking lot for heaven knows what, but I think it's a great buy, the price is good.
Price is Right?
Price is right.
That property seems like prime real estate. They didn't give you a reason why they weren't coming?
It's a lot of it's undevelopable. There's a lot of hillside.
It just looks like it's close to the highway, it's close to this thing.
There are some benefits there, yeah. This is kind of, since it is behind that, developing it'd be a little bit tough, because there's access roads, but there's no streets.
Gotcha.
Which, and then as well as utility lines, we have a gas line running through there, but you have issue getting water there maybe. Stuff that could create some hurdles, like sewer plants there, but it's also no sewer line, so there's
Was there a reason why they didn't?
Yeah, I think it's just that they were looking for the fastest person.
Gotcha.
I have no questions. You did a great job during the work session. And no further. Thank you, Ms. Mason. I need a motion to approve the purchase.
So move.
Mr. Trujillo moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Thurman seconded. Call the vote, please.
DeBono?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Trujillo?
Yes.
Ogletree? Yes. Griego?
Yes. Item 9C, consideration and approval to execute the 2026 Operations, Maintenance, and Management Services Agreement with Operations Management International Incorporated, also known as Jacobs, for the City of Trinidad wastewater treatment plant.
Thank you, Mayor. This is me. This is the 10th year of the contract with Jacobs. I believe the total amount of years that council approved was 15. So we're entering in 2026, the 10th year. I very rarely take a recommendation, but I am recommending that we approve this as it's critical that we continue our operations. One change, and one of the reasons that this is coming a little bit late to you, is I wanted to negotiate one amendment, and that's what's attached with the change this year, and it's how the fleet that the city owns, that Jacobs uses to operate the wastewater treatment plant. There are approximately 9 apparatus. That includes the vac truck, the new vac truck we bought this year. That includes another large piece of equipment, as well as several vehicles. In the previous contracts, Jacobs was responsible for maintaining that. And how they did that is that they would go wherever they needed to get service on those vehicles or repairs on those vehicles. That repair and service was then charged to an account called rebatables. Rebatables is part of our contract. We put $100,000 a year in a rebatables account that Jacobs uses and draws down on throughout the year for expenses. So if a truck needed to be serviced, they would have that serviced and then draw that amount out of rebatables. When we came to a critical issue with the dump truck this year, they had a quote from the private sector, which we could have easily done for $8,000. Our city fleet was able to do 1,400 in parts and then labor to have the same, accomplish the same repair. So I am proposing that we take that out of the rebatables and that we move the fleet responsibility inside the city for several reasons. First, I think we'll see a cost savings. Our rebatables won't be drawn down as fast. Second, one of the things that the fleet that is used at the wastewater treatment plant really hasn't been subject to is, as we've replaced fleet, because we're not servicing that fleet, we haven't been keeping an eye on the age and use of that fleet. So by moving it into our fleet replacement plan, by moving it into our fleet replacement services, we'll be able to better monitor the use of our equipment. So that's my recommendation, and that's the amendment that we're changing here. Really and truth, City Council's already entered a 15-year agreement, but I want your approval on the amendment.
Questions, Aaron?
No.
No.
Sounds like a great idea.
None.
Yes.
No questions.
I think that was a great catch.
Thanks.
$100,000.
Cha-ching.
I need a motion to approve the execution of the 2026 Operations, Maintenance, and Management Services Agreement with the Operations Management International, Inc., for the City of Trinidad wastewater treatment plant. Need a motion? Is that you, Neiman?
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Aaron, seconded. Call the vote, please.
DeBono,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Ogletree. Yes. Griego.
Yes. Item 9D, consideration of a water lease agreement with Dakota Wall Resorts LLC.
So this is, I'm harkening back to July, when Mr. Ramirez came to speak to you about water augmentation leases, what those are and why we do those. So just to keep in mind that we store a certain amount of water at Trinidad Lake. So if someone upriver has an economic use for water, we can basically lease them some shares of water, some acres of water feed. And then they pull that out of the river, and then we release that same amount from Trinidad Lake, and it goes on down the Arkansas. So we use these acres that we have expressly for that purpose. We are, and I would remind you, the only water provider in the entire region. So the ability of folks who want to develop these agricultural interests or economic interests upriver have only us to come and do a lease with. This is a second lease agreement we've considered this year. It's for the Dakota Wall Resort and William J. Garluzzo. I believe he's joining, or he has a representative online, but just to give some background, he currently has a 15-year lease. He has 3 years remaining. He's seeking to utilize this augmentation. What he wants to use this water for is to supplement a current water supply that he already has, and it supports his business. This business includes a restaurant, RV hookups, a lodge, and cabins. It is an existing business. The augmentation agreement we have in place has supported this business for the past 12 years, and what he would like to do is execute a new lease. We are using our new water lease that was developed by our water attorney. This particular lease is for the exact same amount as the current lease. It's 0.42 acre feet of water, so a much smaller amount than we've seen requested in others. If approved, this 15-year lease does include the new 3% increase in price every year. So Mr. Garluzzo and Dakota Wall would pay the same amount as he has now in 26, and then it would begin a 3-year increase every year. We also, in the new contract, added a late fee, which would happen if the leasing does not pay for the water by January 31st. I also want to note that Mr. Garluzzo has an excellent history, and he's paid every time on time. Okay? So I would turn it over at this time, Mayor, to his representative to answer any questions that you have.
Is that Ms. Neely?
Oh, I'm sorry, did you hear
Oh, is
that?
it Mr. Neely?
Mr. Garluzzo, perhaps?
Oh, is it Mr. Garluzzo?
Yes.
All righty, sir. I am going to turn over for questions for council. Erin, do you have any questions?
I appreciate what Ms. Marshall said and her explanation. How do we know, just because I'm ignorant, how do we know that he's limited in taking 0.42 acre feet of water? I mean, how?
The water commissioner oversees how much is pulled out of the river, and that is what his lease would allow.
Okay,
We work directly with the water commissioner to govern that.
okay, sounds great.
Mr. DeBono?
No questions.
Mr. Trujillo?
No, as long as that pizza keeps coming up there, so.
We got it.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, Mr. Thurman?
No questions.
I have no questions either, Mr. Garluzzo. I'm sorry we kept you online for not too much information, but thank you so much. I need a motion to consider the water lease agreement with Dakota Wall Resorts LLC.
So moved.
I'll second.
Call the vote, please.
DeBono,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Ogletree.
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Item 9E, discussion, consideration of rescinding the water lease agreement with Taurus Trout Hatchery and Ken Taurus approved on August 19, 2025, if not executed by December 31st, 2025. Mr. Garluzzo, I think you have a live mic.
Oh, yes, okay. Thank you for doing that for me. Okay, we'll see you.
Bye.
Thank you, Mayor. So this harkens back to, I've used that word twice today.
Yeah,
Do I get bonus points?
It's the word of the day.
It is, hearken. This harkens back to August 19th. You approved Mr. Ken Torres and the Torres Trout Hatchery for a 15-year water lease. Mr. Torres had requested a 20-year and council approved only a 15-year. Subsequently, I've had multiple conversations with Mr. Torres, including a conversation this last week with Mr. Downs, Mr. Torres, and myself. He has indicated to us he does not intend to sign the lease. This creates an issue where you've approved a new lease, and we still have 4 years of an existing lease in place. So since Mr. Torres has indicated he's not going to sign it, we would like to retract your permission as of 5 p.m. on December 31st, which is close of business, on December 31st, because we don't want the gray area, and I could turn it over to Mr. Downs to speak to that, of having an existing lease and council's approval of a new lease, which was actually never executed. We would like to clean this up.
Neiman, do you have any questions?
Is he concerned about the new lease as far as it being, is that the reason why he's not signing it?
I'm gonna let you speak to what Mr. Torres had to say.
I think there are a number of possible reasons why he's not wanting to sign a new lease. I don't want to speculate on that. I know that there was a level of upset from his last dealing with council. That's all I'll say regarding that. But I think there are a number of reasons why he's not willing to sign.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Trio, do you have any questions?
No, if he's unwilling to sign it, there's no lease agreement, so
Right.
we need to retract that.
Mr. DeBona?
No, I have questions.
Is he free to apply, to ask for another lease in the future?
I believe he is. I believe,
Yeah.
I believe he
I'm
is.
deferring to Les on that.
Yeah, yep.
That he's free to seek a
Yes.
lease in the future?
Yes. Thank you. Any, I have no questions. I need a motion.
So moved.
I'm sorry, I need a motion to rescind the water lease agreement with Ken Torres and Torres Trout Hatchery. Mr. DeBono
Yes, so
moved, is there a second?
Second.
What are we gonna do without you on that seat?
I know.
Call vote, please.
DeBono,
yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Ogletree,
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Item 9F, approval of the sale of city-owned property known as Parcel B Industrial Park, 5-1 to Pilot Travel Centers LLC. Somebody has some,
7:12 p.m.
thanks.
Mr. Mason's coming for you.
Okay.
This is something we got on the agenda to hopefully get done. Unfortunately, there was a couple small things we still have to work with on the potential buyer pilot, so I'm gonna request that you guys table this to January 6th, unfinished business. Just because we were close, but we couldn't quite get there across the finish line, so that's all I really have.
I need a motion to table.
I'll motion to table 9F, the sale and property, parcel B,
Is there a
till
second?
January 6th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call the vote, please.
DeBono,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Ogletree,
Yes.
Griego.
Yes. Item 9G, consideration of an amended and restated economic development incentive workforce housing agreement for Holy Trinity project.
Thank you, Mayor Council. This is the same exact boat. We're working with the developer to finalize this. There was still a little bit to be worked on. We were hoping we could get it done in preparation for the meeting, but we could not. We're confident we'll get everything done, and I'm going to request that you table it to January 6th. For this section.
I need a motion to table.
So moved.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Call the vote, please. DeBono,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Ogletree. Yes. Griego.
Yes. Final item on the miscellaneous business agenda, 9H, consideration of approval to execute an updated agreement with Destination IQ for 2026.
Sure, so let me cover this item, and I have a couple of questions for you. So in light of you not repealing the Lodging Tax Advisory Board ordinance, then we need to have the Lodging Tax Advisory Board advise you. They did meet today. My understanding from Mr. Gutierrez is that their advice, they voted on not extending this contract. The issue that we have is that the window closed on canceling this contract for next year. I have met with Destination IQ twice. I did reduce the amount of the contract from around $300,000 to $100,000 and renegotiated what that might be. So you, I guess, need to make a decision. Mr. Downs did not review the agreement because I did not anticipate the change of course. I'm happy to switch course and move to meeting with Lodging Tax Advisory Board, finding out what their reasoning is, and having them report to you on January 6th if you want to hold this item over. However, I'm not sure that we actually have the legal ability to not execute this. And I do need time to meet with Mr. Downs on this issue. As I said, I wasn't anticipating this and thought to get this approved tonight so that we can move forward. So either you execute it or you table it. But either way, the way the ordinance is written, I don't advise you on this spending. Lodging Tax Advisory Board does. Either way, you're gonna need a legal reading on the contract. If Lodging Tax Advisory Board does come back with advice on canceling it, then Mr. Downs is going to have time to review the contract, which automatically renews on January 1 if we don't provide them with 60 days notice. So, Madam Mayor, members of council, what is your pleasure?
I need to ask you a question.
Sure.
What are the repercussions if we don't?
Mr. Downs hasn't reviewed the contract.
Right,
Because
legal malpractice.
We did not anticipate, based on your previous advice to staff, the change of council's vote. So we're happy to give you that legal advice, but we don't have it available tonight. Okay.
Will it be available in January?
Absolutely.
Are you gonna be here in January?
I think so.
Then it'll be available.
I think so.
Sorry to make light, but we're shifting in the middle of a meeting, correct? Okay, so,
Quick question. So
Sure.
what's, on January 1, when it renews, what does it renew at?
well, I negotiated the 100,000, which we have not executed, so that's an excellent question. The previous contract was 300,000, so, you shifted. How would you like us to handle this? Do you want to execute the 100,000? Do you want to take your chances to do legal review? Do you want to be advised on January 6th?
So are we gonna get our bang for our buck, $100,000, and we're saving $200,000, and they're pretty much providing the same service?
No, we reduced the services significantly for the 100,000, down to social media. Mr. Gutierrez, under the current negotiation we had with them, would handle the Visit Trinidad website and be trained to do that. They would continue to do the social media ads that you're seeing on the Visit Trinidad Facebook page, as well as promote the events that we put forward for the next year.
I'm concerned now with that, if we're gonna get billed that large amount.
Well, we have a good relationship with them, and I haven't negotiated, but more likely, what I understand from Mr. Gutierrez, and I haven't had a chance to meet with Joe and the board, is that they actually are advising not renewing it. So if that is the case, then the bigger issue is then Mr. Downs really does need to review the agreement.
I think that's why we paid Mr. Downs the bid.
That's
There
correct.
you go.
That is correct, yeah, huge.
So what is your pleasure?
Do we table? I need a motion to table, or what?
I'm still confused, because if January 1 it kicks up, do we generate a bill that we're stuck for, or do we?
Well, you haven't reviewed the contract, so I don't know how we would advise them today.
We asked how long will it take for you to review the contract?
Well, we're meeting Thursday, so I don't think it should.
Right,
be so
not
long.
horribly long. I'm hoping a couple of hours at the most, I would think.
Then we may have to have a conversation with them.
I would like to know what your legal opinion is about that before we make a decision, and maybe we need a special meeting.
Okay?
I was just gonna say, maybe an executive session will be called for. I don't know what I'm gonna know until I see it, but yeah, I think that's a good point. I was just suggesting that.
And just keeping in mind that even under the current ordinance that was repealed, Law 2 Tax Advisory Board is an advisor to you. You still have to make the decision. So if they advise you to cancel it and Mr. Downs provides legal advice, your decision may actually be not to cancel it. Just want to lay out that scenario. They may advise you to cancel it, Mr. Downs may review it and offer a legal opinion that allows you to go that direction. You'll have to receive that opinion and then weigh those options. It does say it automatically renews on October, and without a signature on this, I can't definitively say what amount it will automatically renew at.
We have someone raising their hand in the audience, but I'm sorry, you guys, we
This
can't,
isn't-
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
You haven't reviewed
Yeah,
the contract, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, but sorry, we can't do that. Thank you, though.
Our minutes are available.
Okay,
Just to explain why we made that decision.
okay, thank you.
Okay, so I still need a motion
To table,
to take.
Table to win.
January 6th.
It'll automatically renew
Oh,
on
right,
January
right, right,
1st.
okay, yeah, I guess we're in
We
this
have,
session. You're
we
right.
have to meet next.
Right,
I'm sorry, this won't be the last meeting of the year.
I know, right.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's okay.
I get one more. You do, you do.
Mr.
Yeah,
Thurman, Councilmember Thurman, are you available to be here on Monday, the 22nd?
Well, I'll check my schedule. After the
Please.
election?
Yes, or before.
After,
After.
or before?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I am.
Yes.
Okay. Can you let me know tomorrow? Okay. Mr. Williamson will be back. I don't know
Right.
if Mr. Shue's available.
So I still need a motion.
I would make a motion to table this item until December 22nd.
Mr. Trujillo's motion for tabling till the 22nd of December. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. DeBono seconded. Call the vote, please.
DeBono?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Trahell?
Yes.
Ogletree?
Yes.
Griego?
Yes. Item 10, reports by city manager and city attorney.
Okay,
Okay.
we are gonna do this together tonight.
Yay.
Mr.
Yeah.
Downs is gonna make some comments.
Yes, it is, that's right.
It's an interpretive
Yeah.
dance of thanks.
So, council members, I have a few comments for each of you outgoing council members, and if you would just indulge me for a few moments. And I'm sorry, I've kind of been a little congested and taking a lot of allergy medicine, yeah, that's right. But if I could, please, and I'll try to get through this without getting emotional. But anyway, so first of all, Councilman Thurman. Yeah, that's right, that's right. Thank you, sir, for your service on city council. You have been a wonderful addition to council, and you're going to be greatly missed. You have dedicated a great deal of time and effort into having served on city council, and we have been incredibly fortunate to have you here. You have always taken the city's business very seriously, and have been a huge advocate for everything city related. And rarely, if ever, did you utter a critical word. You've been a pleasure to work with, and you're the coolest, most positive person ever. I have never seen you get angry, I don't believe, and really not even upset. You're utterly unflappable, and you always bring tons of charisma, or as the kids say, whiz, to everything you do. You have represented your constituency so well. Merchants, downtown merchants, parks and rec, of course, and events of all kinds. And it couldn't have been easy being between council members Trujillo and Williamson for all council meetings. You were the grounding rod for that side of the dais. Thank you, sir, for your service to the city of Trinidad by having served on city council. Councilman DeBono.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're next.
I'm gonna miss you, I'm gonna miss you, I'm gonna miss you.
That's it. Okay, we're done. We're gonna miss you. No, thank you, sir, for your service on city council. Your kind, friendly manner on council is irreplaceable. One of the things I'm going to miss most is being greeted at the beginning of council meetings by a smiling and happy Councilman DeBono. You too, Councilman Tree, but truly, your thoughtful, considerate nature has been a real asset on this council, and your natural decency and wonderful values carry over into so commendably fulfilling your duties on council. Not to mention how you've been blessed with an innate kindness and always pleasant disposition. Speaking of your wonderful values, like your father before you, you have now served on city council like your dad did. And you are and have been a staunch and stalwart advocate for veterans, just like your dad was. You make us all so glad to have been able to work with you. And I'm sure your dad is very proud of you and how you have carried on his legacy. And now who is going to rein in Uncle Frank?
Fair question.
That's a question. You have represented your constituency so well, including the Los Angeles County Veterans Association, business interests, and musical events everywhere. And we hope you will continue to do radio interviews of people doing business in the city. You have been a tremendous city councilman, Councilman DeBono. We thank you and we will miss you greatly.
Thank you, Les. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Miss you as well.
That was a tough one. Okay. Councilman Ogletree. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you for your service on city council. Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bit about me for a moment, so please bear with me. As I mentioned to you before, when you were first elected, I thought to myself, great, a lawyer on city council. Let the undermining and second guessing of me begin. This is going to be hell. Well, little did I know what a tremendously valuable asset you would be, not only to the city generally, but to me specifically. People will never know the extent to which you helped me with ordinances, resolutions, contract interpretation, and other matters, including advice and guidance. You were always a legal resource I could draw upon. You were always very helpful to me and to staff. And something I found rather astounding is how willing you always were to be of assistance. You have always been gracious, kind, and a pleasure to do business with. But perhaps most importantly is that you were always deferential and respectful to me as the city attorney. Even if we disagreed on a matter, you would eventually relent and let my opinion carry the day. Equally astounding to me is that you would do so without reservation or resentment. Thank you for all of that. Now back to you and not just what you have done for me. You have served on the Arts and Culture Advisory Board and Creative District, to mention a few. You've been a council liaison to almost every board under the sun, and most recently even served as a liaison to the Golf Association. Not to mention you were a leader on council, and your opinion always carried a great deal of weight. You were all leaders, but I want to mention you specifically. Having watched you as I have over the years, you were always very patient and were fine with holding your opinion until called upon. You were always polite and respectful to other council members and to the mayor. You too have represented your constituents very well, ma'am, including everything arts and culture related. And of course, you are the most social of council members, and we are going to mostly lose that connection to the Trinidad nightlife. Thank you for your contributions and your service to your city, Councilwoman Ogletree.
Here, here.
Okay, Mayor Griego. Thank you for your service to the city of Trinidad for 6 years on city council with an additional 2 years served as mayor. After a term and a half as a city council person, you decided to run for mayor. We all know you were kind of recruited, but you decided to run for mayor.
You didn't have to twist my arm.
Yeah, well, we kind of did. At a time, as I recall, at a time of great need in the community, after the reign of Mayor Rico. Now, I mean that positively.
Yes, I understand.
Love Mayor Rico. But after the reign of Mayor Rico, you agreed to step up and lead council and lead the city until you would be term limited. That couldn't have been an easy decision for you to make, but make it you did, and we are all so much the better for it. You truly answered a calling. I want to say here, by the time you decided to run for council, yours was already a lifetime of service to your community. You, having been on the original tourism board, historic Main Street, as well as Noah's Ark, before it became the city's animal shelter, and I'm sure that this is all tip of the iceberg stuff for you and your civic service to this community. But what a great way to have your civic service culminate in serving the highest office in local government, that being the office of mayor. And let us not forget that you served out your term despite having very serious health issues that have recently arisen. You toughed it out, as Karen Griego always does, and you toughed it out now till the end. A lesser person would have thrown in the towel. Okay, sorry, I'm good. But let's talk about you as mayor. You have been kind, gracious, and unassuming. You run meetings with a gentle, egalitarian approach that strives to include everyone and everything equally. You're the city's biggest cheerleader, and you compliment publicly and criticize privately like a good leader should. You have represented your city in council meetings and the community so incredibly well. You have been the greatest supporter of staff, and that is so very much appreciated. While all of City Council has been supportive of staff throughout their individual tenures, you have been our greatest supporter, bar none. And for that and a million other reasons, you will forever hold a special place in our hearts. It's lucky for you, your term limited, or we would drag you out for another term. Thank you, Mayor, for everything, and to you I can say you are loved. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Can I say something? Les, I forgot I had something for you and I wanted to show everybody in chambers. I found a metal sign of the Three Stooges, attorneys at law. And the names of the attorneys are Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
No. Thanks, I don't know what to say.
I'm gonna go by the good
And you cause me to have all these facial expressions.
Oh,
You do. Thank you all.
Thank you.
You've been
Thank
great.
you.
We actually have a presentation for that.
We do.
We do.
Yeah, okay, so.
Other than words.
What do you want us to do?
Stay right there.
Just stay right
Stay right
there.
there. We're going over to this end of the dais first.
This is on behalf of the city staff in the city. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we all did, it was a staff
Well,
thing,
we
Tara
didn't
Audrey.
paint it, Mr. Lumia did.
Right. That is from the chorus and gallery.
Oh, wow.
Very nice.
Nice. Yes, Councilmember.
These are all Frank Lumia's helping with the name.
Right.
La Lumia, thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And they're all representative of Trinidad.
Councilwoman Ogletree.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
We, and absolutely. Yeah, right. And Mayor Perez.
The church steeple.
All of that.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Come
much.
here.
Thanks, David.
That was fine, that's fine. I know that view, I know that view.
Yeah, you do.
You bet, you bet, you bet.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Love you.
That's from the city staff.
Thank you all.
That's it.
That's the end of our report.
Thank you for all being here. I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, or however you and yours celebrate this time of the year. I want to reiterate that it was an honor to serve my community in this position. And I want to thank all of you. Criticism or praise, it made me the person that I am, and I want to thank you. Next item on the agenda is adjournment. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Of course.
She got
Of course.
Is there a second? Call the vote, please.
DeBona?
I guess.
Yeah. Let's vote no.
Let's keep this party going.
Yeah.
Thurman?
Out of here.
Truhill?
Yes.
Ogletree? Yes. Griego?
Yes. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Who's gonna get stuck with that 100,000?